All right, we are live. There it goes. Welcome, welcome. Sorry, everybody, for that delay. Took a little bit longer for us to get organized after just dropping off the last one. Two back-to-back lives on Luke's Ancient Historia. We are back live on Ancient Historia YouTube, as well as live on Didactic YouTube channel, and Crypto Alchemist, and my BurnEye, Mine's Third Eye, ScienceGuy YouTube channels. 4 in total. And we love all of you. Thank you all for joining in. We have the Sleeping Prophet, Brother Luke, with us, and only Cam seems to be the only Cam off camera. I'm not sure.
I mean, I'm off camera, but
oh well, we still got you on audio. Welcome, Luke, and it's
thank
pretty
you.
clear
I've
connection.
taken my mystery pill, so it's all gonna go downhill from here.
Mystery herb or medicine. Pill. We cannot condone pill use, just as so much.
Oh no, it's not a pill. It's
pharma. Exactly. You had a natural herb, and yeah. Anywho.
Yeah. We decided to see what would happen if I met God on stream.
And by we, he is, of course, talking about him, himself, and he, being the three of his we. And you're going to have to figure out that camera if we're going to be able to see it on camera, Mr. Luke.
Oh, yeah, I will do. Right.
Okay, well, not sure where Campbell disappeared to. Literally talking for 30, 40 minutes.
I don't understand how my computer works. It's so new that I don't get it.
Well, it's working fabulously, to be perfectly honest. There's no interruptions, no buffering, anything like that. The sound is actually really good. You just got to figure out connecting that camera. Most likely, you just plug it into that USB, micro USB, and then hit update drivers, install drivers, and
I've done all that. This thing is beautiful. I'm staring at it right now with love in my eyes.
You just couldn't bring it fully online all at once. You had to appreciate it in steps.
Oh, mate, it took me years. Originally, when I was going to build this, it would have been state of the art. I bought a motherboard and a processor. So at the time, a 2700X Ryzen was like the best. And COVID happened, and I don't know if any of you guys remember, but GPUs went through the fucking roof. Like everyone was crypto mining. Yeah. And the GPU I've got now, which cost me a pretty penny, was at least double the price. And that put my entire build on hold. So I just sat there with this motherboard and processor in a box for 3 years until now, when my laptop gave up, and I looked down at this motherboard and this processor, and I was like, their time has come.
But think of the good side, Luke. At least it won't have a virus. Ha ha.
Ding!
Hang on.
There we go. I swear, like by next week, we're gonna finally have Campbell natural reflex of hitting that tuning fork after every punchline.
It's interesting because I got the coloured ones, and I was running them over my arm, and with a couple of them, when I got down on my hand, it was making my hand lift up.
Yeah. Bizarre, that's the resonance of it aligning in harmonic resonance of the fork and your biofield, I guess. Essentially, that's
basically, yeah. It's harmonizing, man. It's in tune with me. It's good vibrations on the level, man.
Right, it's Tesla's keys to the universe. Vibration.
Tesla's keys to the universe, and in fact, I believe we have a picture of Tesla, if I can find it.
Oh, we actually have someone on stream connecting to the universe as we go.
Yeah, well, we have that as well. We shall
call out to Mr. Tesla or Edison.
Should I be ayahuasca, Historia? Or...
that journey is all on you, brother.
About halfway through the stream, I'll start talking to like spirits, and you'll be like,
"Yeah, you'll connect to source, and it will be transferred through you and your like personality of it. But when asked the right questions, source always provides pure truth, universal truth."
It does indeed. Sorry, I'm doing many things in the background here. I'm really.
So I should still be sharing then?
So what are we talking about? What is happening here?
I was thinking some pyramid updates. We'll go a little bit more into that Nile Delta as well as up into the Nubian, but then connect back over to the South American and American pyramids a bit, and how it seems like it was one master, more advanced pyramid building civilization pre Younger Dryas Cataclysm, or like of the era of what they modern geology and academia calls the last ice age. But during that last ice age, it seems there was this realm-wide, more advanced, either matching us in many ways or surpassing us probably where we are today. But they were the mega pyramid builders of the megalithic stone, of the mountain-sized ones, and the technological, the antiquitech, the purposeful analog machinery or equipment that these mega pyramids were before that civilization got wiped out, and that ever since then the survivors could never match anywhere close to that level of technology, yet alone understanding what it was. And from that point forward, pyramids became tombs instead of working technology, and thus kings of lesser time periods would try to match the gods of the past and build their little tiny stone pyramids with their actual tombs within it. And why it makes zero sense when you're looking at any of the grand Great Pyramid sites or structures of the world when they're tried to be described as tombs, when it's blatantly evident that there was much, much more purpose and utility to these buildings and these lasting testaments of the surviving of the civilization.
So we do find, the Nubian pyramids seem to be different, though, don't they, than a different kind of machine or a different beast than the Giza, because obviously different proportions, different angles, and they're similar to these pyramids in the Russians were using that were preserving things and all this, having this effect. So because the Nubians have the gateway, so I wonder if they were some kind of, if those ones were tombs and it was using the energy to whatever, right? To keep it in stasis or something.
Quite possible. Or astral projection, meditating, connecting up to source, or if projecting your soul out after you pass, possibly. And that was a very good point of pointing out the different geometry of the Giza pyramids and how they're lower, they're not as steep, and the Nubian pyramids with that steep angle and incline seem to be the ones that actually affect the energies of plants, of electromagnetics within them, within transferring these energies through the focal points. And that the Giza pyramids that we have up right here, the three big ones, and you can see how there's all the Fibonacci geometries and these different sacred geometries and mathematical equations are built and encoded into each layer, each level, each angle, each side of the Giza pyramids, and that's why they're different than the rest, is because if you divide the width of the pyramid by the height, it gives you pi, and that is specific proportion that they built it for that reason, and that then the king's chamber, the queen's chamber, and all the other different shafts and stuff in proportion to ground level and the peak or the tip, they all also encode like the golden ratio, as well as I believe some physics constants.
Yeah, speed of light, things like this.
Yeah, exactly, right. And supposedly also like the diameter or circumference of the realm or something like
of the
that.
world. Yeah. It's a it's a fraction
Right?
of the
So
circumference, I think.
there's a whole lot of mathematics and higher higher science, higher geometric mathematics.
Yeah, give me the screen.
It just shows you, though, looking at that picture, like you can see that they're dealing with energy flow, like completely. They're seeing the world completely different to the way we're seeing it, right? They look like that big spiral. That's a flow of energy. That's what so they're looking at this completely differently to the way we look at it. Like that's literally to get certain energies flowing. It shows you where the crossing polarities are.
Right, can you see what I'm showing?
Yes, we can see, Luke.
Yeah, sweet. All right. I'm just checking.
Yes, and so
right,
all of
see
these
we got
pyramids
the
we've discovered, Luke, these Nubian-shaped ones that. So Jeremiah, regular in a lot of my streams, the science streams, he made these same steep angled ones, just out of Pyrex or some sort of plastic see-through material, and was cuttings of herbs that he could not get to root and died.
That's
5 out of 5 times he tried to root them naturally. One time trying to root them under this plexiglass pyramid, they flourished and all of them survived and rooted like nothing he'd seen before. And the only difference was just being under that pyramidal shape of plexiglass.
Which shows us that all the geometry we keep talking about in these buildings is part of the tech. Like the actual geometric shapes give off certain fields, basically.
Exactly, bang on. So that the Giza ones are the only ones, or like the big flatter ones with this mathematical encoding. And then you look at Teotihuacan in Mexico City. It also is the flatter ones compared to the rest of the step ones that seem to be steeper throughout Mesoamerica. And then also in Asia, you got the step pyramids with the 3 big ones in China. They're the central. And then all of the steepness is the stupas and the tops of their stepped pyramids that give you that same angle and energy going up, and thus that the big flat or wider ones are essentially the coding of the rest of the
are we still looking at my screen, by the way, or have you?
Yes, we're still looking at your screen. Yes.
All right. So it's just because I can't see, so I'm just checking. Don't you get the attitude, Cam?
We are. And if you would like, this is Luke's Discord.
So it is. Like yeah. You know what? Historia,
and
I actually take quite pride in this. So what I do is I post a lot of this stuff. I give you a nice little explanation. So, for example, this is the Fayum pyramids here, as you can see. These are the ones that are the remainder of Al Fayum. That's the place that we saw on here. I think this one is doesn't have it. It's this one. That one. So this is supposedly about here. There we go. Morris Lake. There you go. So it's there.
And you were showing 2 maps before. Was one of them upside down because they were reversed?
Which map was that?
You were showing, I think that was one
of
them.
This one?
That one, and then the other one from the book. So when you go in there, you've got one fort, the Turkish fort on one side. But on the other side. Is it just an upside down image or?
No, it's the same way. Look, pyramids here, fort here, ruins here. So if we go to this
when you go to the other one, the pyramids
look, fort there, pyramids there,
where are the pyramids?
Ruins there. Well, no, it's
but they're on the other side.
No, it's the same thing. Look, fort, ruins, pyramids. Okay.
Yeah, but the pyramids are on the other side of the river.
No, it's not though. Look, because this is facing north, so this is on your west.
That's the fort. Yeah, it's the
reverse.
So that's what I mean.
So facing south.
One of the images is upside down, like they're looking from.
Well,
so the waterfalls are facing south.
As in, this is just looking south. So this is the waterfall here, your pyramids here, your ruins here, and then your fort there. So if you go to here, look, there's your fort.
I was asking young Lucas.
Yeah, I was saying it's on the right side. It's just obviously it's north, isn't it?
Oh look, the fort. It was German.
Yeah. So this here is what we're looking at when we look at that. So that is the same thing there. Pyramids on the side, ruins here. But notice how it says Aswana Zephort, which is destroyed. Aswana destroyed. And the fort. So they're saying that this is Thebes. Now, we know that Thebes supposedly is wherever this map is. Oh, by the way, look at that, by the way. Tartar. Just bring that up. So here, right. This is Luxor. So this is where Thebes is supposed to be, around here. You've got a Valley of Kings there that you can't see on this map. But obviously, if you come down to here, you can see that this is a very different place. Now, this is what they describe as being the ruins of Thebes. And they don't just describe it once. I've decoded quite a bit of this book because you can't see it from here, but there's a lot of text like this. This book's kind of a bit thingy. So let me find. So there's cataracts of the Nile. So for example, this is your cataracts of the Nile description. I've decoded quite a bit of this stuff. This whole page is decoded, and it just reiterates what it's saying, that these are the ruins of Thebes. And obviously, what we just talked about is that Thebes is supposed to be up here, whereas this is Aswana. So there is definitely something going on here. Now, if I come down here, so this one's good. Get the link, because that's right. So this one, I love this computer so fucking much. Right. So this one is here. Right. So you can see here this Le Sphinx, as you can see.
Le Sphinx. Nice.
The pyramids from afar. Now notice the way these are shown, because we know that the art, well, I mean, just the distinction between the shapes. We know that there are supposedly, if you give me 2 secs, 1 sec.
And hello to everyone in chat. Thank you for being here. 244 of you across 3 channels, or it's probably across 4 channels, is it, Bernie? We love you all.
So we love you, definitely. Yeah. So look at this, for example. Look the way these are shaped. Possibly that, like this. Yeah. And then obviously you see on this one that there is quite a bit of a difference in the way that these are split.
A bit more pointy.
Yeah, well, definitely. But there's also, if you think, look at this. Look, the shape here. This is probably a better one. Look,
what are they?
These are this is Giza.
Yeah, that's Giza. But what's the other picture saying? Is that saying that it's just the pyramid?
It's showing that they're
Africa.
very different. It's
so
showing.
Clearly that's not Giza, is what you're saying.
Well, it is Giza. It's telling you it's Giza, but Giza looks different. I mean, this text does say that it's Giza. Yeah, I've translated all this. Look, the character there. Like it's talking about this being Giza, but obviously, look at this. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 there, and 3 there. Whereas if you look at the Giza pyramids, let me get layout.
Or
so you look at look at this, right? You got smaller ones here, smaller ones there, and 3 main ones.
And 3 main ones.
Yeah. So if you look at that, it's quite clearly very, very different. And then we go to this one, which is
so. I mean, this is very interesting. The whole thing with the sphinxes, right? Because we know that the Sphinx at Giza, I mean, you know, they say, right, the face has been redone. It's just the reason.
Well, this is the thing, right? Because so what obviously we talked about in the last stream, which I've deleted because I lost subscribers.
So we need 12 people to go and subscribe to Ancient Historia.
I'm not kidding. Every time we do a live, people
subscribers.
Like, I'm not joking, man. It's so depressing. Like people leave.
Try one in the morning, and
so right, this here gives us description of the Nile, the sources of the Nile, and the cataracts. So as you can see, if we zoom in right here, it's the same thing that we've got here on this map. Look, pyramids thingy there, right? So we look, it's just, pyramids, Aswana ruins, Aswana, tombs of the Arab sheikhs, and then the Nasser fortress. I find this really interesting, actually, because this is a completely different Nasser to the Nasser that is
it's completely different, isn't it? Yeah.
That's because the late Nasser that is caused by the dam that we've talked about is do I have Google? Yes, I do. Right. So look, if you look here down at Aswan, this is where we are. Okay, so this is where we are. And you can see that this is called Lake Nasser, if it has the name, but it's called Lake Nasser, which is after the president of the time. And it was also, interestingly, funded by the Soviet Union. So this high dam here was funded by the Soviet Union.
Yes, it was.
Now that's an interesting link as well, isn't it?
Oh, sorry, this one. That one's oh wait, no, it is that one. Sorry, yeah. This is the low dam, and this is the high dam. Yeah. So originally the water, as we talked about in the last stream, flowed this way. So if you guys ever want to find where water used to flow, try and follow a road, because you can see here the water, like you've got this green land here, a section here to a reservoir, and then you've got the road going up. Now, obviously, you might be saying, Luke, that isn't very good proof. So what I can do? What I can do? Don't worry. I've always got something, haven't I? Right. I think it's this one. I think it is this one. Right. Let's have a look at this map. See here, right? See this area?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's written in Arabic, but what this says is the old route of the Nile. Now, if I go somewhere here, I have a low quality photo of this, unfortunately, because I couldn't get anything better. There it is. Aswan environments and antique town city plan. Aswan shows old course of the Nile filled with sand and gravel, which is what we're going to look at. So here, I can't zoom in that much because just the way it is. But here it actually says the old course of the Nile filled in with sand and gravel. So, so exactly. That is the old course of the Nile. So when you look at this picture, once that TV's trying to turn off. There we go. So when you look at this, picture, this here is it's essentially the same picture. When you look at that, where were we? Was it down? That one there. So there. So you see here that says the old course of the Nile filled in with sand and gravel. So obviously we come over to this, and that's what it is. See here. So this, which is now a road, was the old course of the Nile. So that gives you a little bit of a view of how stuff has changed, because obviously if this is flowing this way, which is why when we come to Google Earth, if we zoom in, so you see you got the reservoir here, you can literally now you can work it out. Oh, okay, it went this way, you get me? Well, zoom in here, what do we have? The mountain waterfall. But I mean, well, it closes at 5 p.m, but I can't see any water, can you? So if that's the mountain waterfall, but we've got a little reservoir here, then obviously the water used to flow this way.
The entire area was ancient canals. That this entire now desolate area instead used to be vast agricultural,
that looks like a star for
high yielding lands, which was documented.
Military zones.
Huge military bases all along here.
There's loads of them, right? There's absolutely loads of these things. They appear everywhere.
They're probably using the base structures, the foundations of the leftover.
We can see the color. Look at the color of the land. Look at the color here. How pink it is.
Thank you very much. Oh,
sorry.
The Happy Plague Doctor. Thank you very much for your support.
Plague Doctor.
I've got that map. I'll bring it up in a minute. We'll have a look at it.
But look at this, right? So see how pink it is here, and look at the surrounding area. You can tell that there was stuff here, and when you zoom in on this, look at this. Look, these are underground. And
they're underground, yeah.
I can show you even more of these, right? Let's zoom out on here. Come
So
down.
someone asked, or someone said that they're not following what Luke's saying. What he's basically saying is that Thebes used to be, or Aswan used to be Thebes, and the pyramids that they're telling us at Giza are not that they were not the main pyramids back a couple of hundred years ago in all these books and maps. The main
yeah. They were the pyramids, but I think that they were different than
and there were more down here at Aswan.
I can prove that with,
that there was 100%. Luke, you've discovered that there was much grander pyramids, that they were the same size as all these taller ones.
Pyramid, they're 1,400 feet tall. Pyramid, and you can see, look, the pyramids extraordinaire in Aswana.
And that's as tall as
so, look, 1,400
the Empire State Building. Yeah, is that right?
Yes, the Empire State Building with its metal spire is taller, but without the spire, it's not taller. So this is it's much bigger than the Eiffel Tower, for example. And as you can see,
and they're two interesting.
This figure represents one of the pyramids, the extraordinary pyramids shown at Aswan.
And so we know that every 100, what is it? Every meter it goes up in the atmosphere. It goes up 100 volts. Is that right?
Millivolts.
So
look at that.
And the two structures you just mentioned were the Eiffel Tower, which is basically a big antenna, and the Empire State Building, which definitely has a big antenna on the top. So
and then as well, right? This is one of the older pictures. This is very good evidence for it. So this you can't see very well because I can't zoom in on this, but pyramids of Egypt, as you can see, we've got the two sphinxes, the head here. So they tried to tell us that this is the remnants of this, but it's not. It's a colossus, as we've discussed before. So they call them colossal heads, and in fact at Aswan, one of the descriptions I've got is that there were 12 pyramids there and a number of colossal heads, which are these. So they are separate from these. This is a colossal head, as in like the Colossus of Rhodes is a giant head. They're different from sphinxes. But the reason I bring you to this is because down here, you can't really see, but it says that the height of the biggest pyramid is 624 foot. And the base is 682 foot. So all we have, go on, you talk while
apart from the fact that there's like another 10 pyramids in the background. I was just thinking with that female sphinx, is that maybe that's why they redid the face? Maybe it used to be a female sphinx at Giza as well.
Well, that's debatable. Yeah, well, it's debatable. You can see, look, the height of Giza is 449 foot, according to this, and let's see what the base is. I think it's 756, 755.6. So yeah, 756 feet square. So if we go back to our thing, right? This is saying it's 624 foot high and 682 foot at the base. So just going by our description here, our actual height is 200 foot less, but each side is about 70 foot more. So it's gained width and it's lost height. It's lost almost 200 foot in height because this says that it was 624 foot high.
That would be a different one. Or if that is the Giza ones, then it means that there's more of it buried underneath.
But I mean, it's got the wrong angles anyway, so it's clearly different.
That's what I'm saying. It's the wrong angles. And
so as you can see with this, it's a very similar design to what we see with this one, although the Sphinx is facing out on this one.
So it seems like there was 3 or 4 of these super advanced, huge structure sites along the whole Nile going up towards the Nubian, Sudanese area, Ethiopia there, and that in a past stream together when you were first showing us this, Luke, and Cambell was on the Google Earth and we were looking at the dam, and next to the lake there, you've pointed out one exact spot where it looked like those 4 pyramids were, and it's now currently the main quarry. Their main quarry just happens to be on that exact same spot of next to where the waterfall used to be, that the 1,400 foot
look at this
pyramid would have been.
Look at this area here, and we got one of these. Right, one of these weird structures. So just have a look. It's military.
Those are just bunkers for tanks and stuff. Like there's a lot of instability and war going on there.
See the way they go in, right? But we scroll back out. We go over to this side of Lake Nasser, and what do we have right here in Dabud? Is look at that
again.
And
nice.
Another one of these.
Looks like a star citadel to me, man. And just a few
battery, and that's what they probably are military occupied remnants of the original forts.
Well, yeah, exactly right. This is the thing, right? There's so much evidence for a war that we haven't heard about. Like honestly, right? Let's come to this. Look, right, zoom in here. Look at this in the middle of this city. Well, village.
Another one far out. Wow.
Yeah, just buried there.
Bunkers,
don't know what's going on there. But like I say, right, these things, I've only shown you 2. I've got so many posted in the Discord just around this area.
So there you go. If you want access to Luke's Discord, you must go and subscribe to his channel and then do whatever else you need to do. And someone asked who built the dam. The new dam was built by paid for by the
Soviets. But the British built the first, I believe, and that
the low one, and then the Russian.
And that was what originally covered up some of the waterfall, and then the Soviets came in and covered up like the entire areas. So they would have been covering up the remnants, any leftover evidence of those original pyramids and sites and cities.
And as we talked about, this was flowing this way. So if we go back to
the dam, sorry, before you continue, the dams forever stopped and changed the seasonal river flood season, where before the whole Nile Delta would flood for 3 to 6 months a year, and all that water would come in and both charge those areas as well as provide amazing agriculture, farming for all of them there. And by building those dams, that was another main thing that it did, was make it completely desolate across all of it. get rid of all of the agriculture, the grass cover, and turn it into more desert and the sand dunes, drying it up where nobody lives, like you pointed out. Good, Luke.
Indeed. And also someone asked, did the pyramids have capstones? And no, they don't seem to.
I'll tell you what, this is
really a lot of the pictures, they've got people on the top standing on the flat where the capstone, but we don't know who built these, how old they were, right? Like, these could be repurposed by.
So, by the way, right, when we look at this, we have to try and figure out whereabouts this is. And obviously we have what we talked about here, this waterfall, wherever it was. I think it's there. Mountain waterfall here. So I reckon there's a good chance that this is what we're looking at here. Okay, so this, good chance that it's about here, because we got this mountain waterfall and there ain't no water. So evidently, when the water was flowing this way, you can see by the greenery and the wet in this reservoir that it would have been, and the road, as I've already told you, you can see where it would have been flowing. Look, so you look at that road. Where's the waterfall? Oh, it's right there. Okay, so this possibly is where we're looking at. I wouldn't say definitively, but it's possible that this is where we're looking at. So in that case, we'd expect our Turkish fort to be around here somewhere.
Yeah, right. Where all those bits are sticking out of the ground.
Well, maybe somewhere around here. If this is our waterfall, here, then somewhere here. Is this our fort? Is this our fort here?
Thing in the middle there.
Well, looks a bit weird, doesn't it? Look at that. Look at the ruins here. There's something definitely going on here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, big time there. And they'll probably call that another quarry. And it's literally the very remnants of those original pyramids that's documented.
Oh, no, these aren't the pyramids. That's the fort. So the pyramids would have been on this side, right? So the pyramids would be around here.
Now, going to have a bigger quarry over there.
Well, yeah, this is where you get to if you come down to these quarries. Is it this one? Look at this.
Yeah.
You know, you got Aswan landfill, just your landfill, and look at the way that
just cover up that what looks like a very
and look at the old route of the road leads right to more reservoirs. Look, we got ourselves another dam. It looks like here.
And that essentially the borders of the outermost canals would be the border of the floodplain and the usable agricultural zones of this past civilization when the Nile would flood each year in the rainy season. So they dried up 98% of the usable agricultural land, and no wonder the once thriving Egyptian society and peoples starved and turned into a desolate sand bin just from the dams.
Yeah, well, exactly. You can see how this would have been providing all these areas with green pastures like this. They cut it off. They don't want you having it. You have a reservoir instead, and you'd be happy about it. Anyway, right, I reckon somebody else should take over because I'm really starting to feel the effects of this mystical
mystical experiment.
Mystical realms.
Yeah.
This was a very good job.
I have someone mentioned
things that aren't here, you know, so
someone mentioned the Vatican map. Have you guys seen this one that's come out?
Oh yeah, please do show. I do know the name.
This is it. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
So it's come out, and obviously everyone's saying, what's this land? But I'm not sure that that's actually extra land. I don't know, because see here it says Circle of the Arctic.
Yes.
I think this is a projection from inside here. unfortunately, because you can also see these circles going in sort of the opposite curve.
Yeah, 100%.
I hope you guys don't
mind. Back in itself.
New Greenland, new growing, right? Land.
Hope you guys don't mind, but Julia's going to join us.
Greenland, and this is I don't know what that is, Mount Hecla. But yeah, so this, I saw this and went, wow, that's awesome. But then I looked at it and I think what we're looking at is this bit here is actually from the middle, because this definitely says New Greenland and this definitely says Circle of the Arctic. So unfortunately, I think that's not as good as we thought it might be. Sorry,
right, but that's the thing, though, is doing research. You know, sometimes you have to prove that it isn't extraordinary and it is what it's said to be. And every so often we get the gems that show lost civilizations everywhere.
I do have maps that show extra land. That's for sure.
Why don't you go through a couple of them quickly while I get the next thing ready?
What we've got here.
And do you know the name of that most?
I am meeting God right now.
You are one with the galactic conscious creator.
Oh, almost.
What am I looking for? This one.
I've merged with reality.
Okay, so here we have extra land. So this was a newspaper article printed in Hawaii, Hawaiian Gazette, Friday, January 21st, I think, 19, cannot read that. I think it was like 1917 or something. With this map, this is, you know, the land we know, and this is a lot of more land. Was this world map made 10 centuries ago? So that was in the newspaper. You used to be able to print, you know, publish stuff like this. Of course, we've all seen this. This is the Monty Planisphere, showing all this land around the outside with, you know, named regions, animals in there. You know, most of the oceans are named. And right around, like literally a ring around the outside, this we've all seen this. This is Mercator's map, Hyperborea. And this is kind of what we just saw in that map from the Vatican, is Greenland and one of these islands, probably you know, Iceland or something. But even in here, we can see we've got disappearing islands, New Zembla, this one, whatever this is, Niculant. I don't know what that is. What's this? This is a projection map. Okay, so this is the map around the outside, and this is what they've drawn as the inside. The inside, the ocean, North Ocean. So this is like the Arctic Circle, which is fairly interesting. I don't know what that really is, but this is when they cut all the land off that map and try to turn it into a ball. I mean, look at this. This is South America. Look at the shape. These are giants.
I really want to add something to this, but all I can see is fucking elves.
Terra del Fuego, the land of fire.
So you know what? I will bring one thing to this is if you look at South America, there is a region, a little island just off called Terra del Fuego. Land of Fire.
Terra del Fuego. Oh, today,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that is, I just wanted to bring that up because I don't want people to be like, you know, act like we don't
know that. yeah, there is. It's they say it's just a little island, but that's not a good picture. But in these maps, this whole land mass is Terra del Fuego, and it's an interesting name, right? The land of fire, in what we are told is an ice region, an ice desert. This is from what's the channel? You know, Moon Reflection Map Man. I've forgotten the name of the channel, but this is the moon. with our known lands on it, and it's got all this extra land on the outside. Of course, Terra Infinite. Now, this isn't a real map. This is a someone's, imagination, mental projection based on a lot. Basically, it's based on these books called The Navigator That Passed the Ice Wall, I think it's called. And as you can see here, we've got Earth, we've got the three rings, right? The Atlantis or the Tolkien, the three rings, right? Then we've got Mars out here, Anunnakis, Neptune. So
all I can say is that I am further losing my mind.
But can you tell us, is Mars out here?
I'm going to be honest. At this point, the TV has become reality itself.
Oh.
Oh, are you merging it with one?
I am becoming one.
Nice.
No.
Well, at least not becoming they, them.
I'm actually kind of like freaked out by the fact that I can still hear you guys. I'm like, whoa, shouldn't I be like in another realm?
Are we coming through?
So what we've done today is we've not only deprived Luke of sleep, we've fed him some questionable diet.
So,
and of course, this is the land of Oz, and in the middle we got the Emerald City, got 4 lands, 4 rivers, ocean.
Yeah, right. If shit gets real crazy, I'm just gonna mute myself.
And what do we have here?
I don't want you guys hearing me.
4 lands, scream. 4 rivers, all in the middle.
No, this is for science, Luke. We have to hear absolutely every interaction you have with different demons, elves, aliens.
The alpha male has lost his fucking mind. He sat there for 3 fucking minutes staring into the ground, contemplating his own existence.
This is from Vibes of Cosmos. That's what the channel's called. If you haven't seen them, go check them out.
Vibes of Cosmos.
Yes.
They provide the perfect description of how the land may look, or may not.
At the moment, Luke's mind is going into the cosmos.
I'm not even joking. Like, David Attenborough is the only thing holding me to this planet right now.
Right? Luke's got to play some David Attenborough in the background to be that umbilical cord back.
Dude, I don't even know what's going on with me. I blacked out earlier and just started spewing shit about Lucifer in my Discord channel. So I don't even know what the fuck was going on there.
So those are the things you got to document and then go back and look at afterwards and be like, oh, so this is when the demon possessed. Okay, this is when Source possessed. And you can see why it goes back and forth so much, like the bipolar or the schizophrenic, when in fact it's just the two ends of the good and the bad coming through.
Take the middle path, Luke. Use the fork. Use the fork, Luke.
Ding! I love it. All right, what the heck?
There is no Luke, only Source.
Exactly. You are melded with the everything.
Oh no, honestly, my brain wants to fuck off right now, and I'm holding this shit together like.
You're tripping balls, man.
This is a mad thing. Like, no, I'm not even tripping balls. Like, but I'm very close to losing my absolute insanity. Like, just gone.
What does that mean? Can you describe it a little bit more?
Yeah. Describe it.
Ooh, you go.
No, I don't think I could describe.
No, I don't think so. The Igig, do you mean the Igigi, Alex? Who were basically they were the workers for the Anunnaki, the worker slave dudes. What it says in the story is that they didn't want to work anymore, and they got so loud that the gods had to come down and sort it out. And what they did is they created another race, which may be us. That's
created
what the story
in the image of. Tried to turn a fractal of themselves into worker slaves of themselves, only to have them equal out, apparently. And we're in that state of, are we ourselves gods or are we ourselves slaves? Which were we created to be? And we're essentially both. So
the answer is both. What do you decide to be?
It's
this
your
is
own
cool.
free will to take off the shackles and not enslave yourself and reach your destiny of heaven on earth, or the God potential, that the spark of God that exists within all of us, that conscious connect to all of us. And
get the shackles off my feet so I can pray.
Using your free will to choose to connect to that source every day.
And this is Spain, right? Is that right? Spain?
Greece, I believe.
Greece. I thought it was Greece, but I said that in the last stream, and then someone said, no, it's Spain. But I thought it was
I think you're right, actually.
I thought it was Greece, but maybe it's Spain. But
very close, either or.
And they knocked that over. I've got a cut. There's a few pictures of this pyramid around. Is it? It's not still there, is it?
I don't believe so.
But I mean,
maybe a piece of it. I think you're right that it was completely removed, and I believe the castle also, the armory there. Which just reminded me, we're supposed to have interview with Dutch Synths at some point tomorrow. I've got to confirm the time with him after we're done this stream. We will be looking at the macro star forts and macroscaping of a lot of the continental shapes and defining shapes of our realm and topography, geology, and in keeping with the pyramid theme of tonight, and moving forward to that theme tomorrow, do you mind opening up Google Earth and we take a look at?
I agree. Jim's saying this is Rome. We'll have to
it could be Rome. Yeah, Rome.
Sure it is. Yeah, I was sure it was Greece, but someone said it was Spain. So however that was,
somewhere in that, South Europe.
Right, you guys are gonna have to do all of this because I've lost the ability to fucking.
No worries.
Yeah,
we're gonna take a trip to Christmas Island, aka Easter Island, aka the land of the Rangu.
Christmas Island isn't Easter Island, is it? Is it?
Or I think so.
Oh.
Or is that Galapagos? I'm pretty sure Christmas
Island is the one with the crabs. It's got a crab problem.
The spirit in my mind says it doesn't fucking matter.
Going on up to the spirit. Where Lucy's going.
I've done, Mr. E, I have done a couple of brief tests with Rife coils so far. I've got a bunch more to do here, and we'll be doing an episode on some of the results probably next week.
I want to know why Christmas Island isn't called Dog Island, because that's clearly a dog.
What's a dog? What's a dog? You got to bring up your screen so we can see.
Oh, am I not sharing? Oh my god! Well, I'm enjoying it.
So is Christmas Island Easter Island? Was I correct?
I don't think so.
No.
It's a dog. It's clearly a dog.
Oh, that is a dog island. Is that
Doggone Island? No. So this is Christmas Island. You're confusing me. This is way up off the west coast of Australia, up near Asia, and Christmas Island, Easter Island, is way out here with the statues. Right? Is that it there?
How far out are they from each other?
This is Han Solo. This is where Han Solo landed.
Oh, 7.
Have you seen this?
370? Is this MH370 Diego Garcia, or is this something different? What island is east?
Check out this skid
mark.
Welcome,
Julia.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, Julia. Look, this is in the middle of nowhere. Look at this big skid mark, and look what's at the end of it.
Oh, that crashed you up. My goodness. That's Google playing tricks on us.
It's a good job Julie joined right as I'm about to use my fucking mind.
Does not.
I'm here to initiate you.
Oh no, don't worry. I am.
There we
fucked.
go.
I am
That's
fully
Easter
fucked.
Island.
Like there is no other description.
Look at that giant triangle of an island.
And look at all the. Oh wow! Look at this. The whole edge has fallen off this.
Like an underground basalt cave. They're gonna claim as a volcano. Yeah, look at that. Can you zoom in on that and get the?
And it's got a big mound in the middle of it too.
Yeah, there's several pyramids on Easter Island, despite it being such a small island, and you can notice that it's also a triangular island, and on each of the three tips, there's a pyramid at the center points above the. So it would be a little bit up, not in the center of the caldera, but the highest point, somewhere around there, I think it is. Yeah.
I wish I had more to add to this other than wow.
Just describe the color.
Julia, now's the time to initiate the psychotronic experiments.
Yeah,
and
let's do it.
Luke is he keeps saying we, but I'm in Canada and Cambell's in Australia, and Luke's in the UK, so I'm not quite sure how we are responsible for him trying some psychoactive tea, but it seems to be kicking in.
Green tea, Bernie.
It's not a tea, all right?
Green tea.
What do you want to see?
Code word for you.
Maui.
Yeah, it's a Maui. Yeah, I had a Maui, then I had some DMT, a lot of DMT, and now my mind is kind of all over the place. So it's cool.
Oh yeah, you did have Maui. How do I spell Maui? Oh, that one.
Oh, Maui, I think.
Yeah,
no, it's M-A-O-I.
Look at the structures of like the trees and foliage, even. All very square-like for what's.
Ako Tiki Ruhu.
I tried to say that and I was like, oh, okay, I'm not even getting it. Mono-oxidized inhibitor? Maybe? Yeah, was that right? I don't know.
Oh, some tables?
Was that actually right?
Here we go. There's one. Look at all the stonework as well. Oh, because there's actually roads, isn't there, that go into the ocean.
In Laguna Beach, like they have goats on the hill lately, and they're as they eat away the foliage, you see this pathway where it looks like these ancient rocks, but it was beneath the hill, like the soil and stuff.
Where was that?
Yeah,
in Laguna Beach.
On this beach,
No,
here?
not that one. No, where
California
I live.
Laguna.
Oh, where you live? Okay.
Sorry, say that again. What's buried at Laguna Beach?
Well, they have the goats on the hill, and there's this lighthouse thing that pokes up in Laguna Canyon on the hill right there, and then there's this circular building right by it. Well, they have these goats that have been eating the foliage and stuff, and the more that they do that, the more it exposes the hill. And it's a lighthouse thing that comes out from the hill, and then it's connected, and then there's a water system. You know how in all these cities you see this ancient design of the canals everywhere?
Yes, ma'am.
And then it's right next to that, and it's a lighthouse that goes underground, and then there's a peek out point, like a lookout point, and then a circular building.
Really? So it's literally an old bastion fort / lighthouse / military old world construction.
Right. And if you look at where Laguna Beach is located, from Tartaria to California past, Catalina and Hawaii,
it's right
it's
in the heart
an entrance. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
wow,
and all the legends of Catalina Island.
Right. The giants that were found there.
And right, yeah, the giant skeletons, the teeth. I think it's pretty much verified that accepted by mainstream that they're there. And then apparently also the Tictoc UAP UFOs were right off of Catalina Island too. A lot of their engagements.
Yeah, if you zoom in on Laguna Beach. Oh, I was gonna say show you where that lighthouse is.
My brain is like spaghetti right now.
Okay, zoom in. Oh, go where the dot is, dude. I'm right by the dot. Literally, I'm right there.
I'm not
Okay,
kidding.
zoom
it's
into
like al
that,
dente.
and then you
fucking-
see go up a little bit. Okay, go up a little bit more, and you'll see where the lighthouse. Okay, see that right by. Okay, right where your thing is, right there. Yeah, see that building? That's the circular building, and to the right of that is where that. See the is where the lighthouse.
That road
thing
really
that
looks like
peeks
an
out.
old canal.
This one? Up on
Yeah,
this
you
hill.
go down. It's right to the right of that building you were just at. With like,
This
No,
one?
no, I think
yeah,
that looks
it's
like
right
an old
to the
road.
right, and it peeks out of the hill, and it's like a little
Or
lighthouse.
is it just the top of it or something? Is it okay?
Oh yeah, it's like right
Is it
there.
like that thing there, is
Yeah.
it?
The tip.
The lighthouse.
Just the tip of a lighthouse.
Just the tip. I'm not going to
Just
say
the
anything else.
And like that these
I like how I
lighthouses.
fucked out my head.
Oh, here, Waterco
Yeah.
Lighthouse. Okay,
I'm
gotcha.
still here for the innuendos.
Oh, so
So-
this is one. Just what?
Yeah, there's a lot of tips here. A lot of tips poking out.
Just the
Yeah.
base. The
Yeah.
tip got destroyed,
So,
eaten by the ocean centuries ago, Luke. Just the
Can't
base
see the
is left.
base. We can only assume the size of the shaft.
what's all the... This is
No matter
great.
what I say, it sounds
So
official.
would that be part of that underground tunnel aspect that you're
Well, there's
talking
all
about?
underground. So Laguna Beach is only like 7 miles long, and they have underground tunnels, and that's what they've been working on for like I think 3 years.
Julie,
Wow.
you could definitely read me a bedtime story
Oh.
and I'd be straight asleep. Fucking
Power station.
Right.
Interesting.
for
And
real,
right
man.
there, like right by that power station, is where Fred Bell had a house, and Timothy Leary, right across the way.
Across here.
So lots of
Nuts.
acid was taken right there and made.
I can almost feel
Lots
it.
of everything
So-
was made right there.
We
Wow.
need to concentrate on transporting Luke's consciousness from where he is in the UK to that portal.
I don't even
Yeah,
know where
Luke,
my
you-
consciousness is right now. It
Where
could be anywhere.
like where do you want to go? You know,
Well,
what do
I
you
mean,
want to
well,
know?
That is the question, isn't it?
What do you want to know? You're like, show
I-
me who I am.
Oh yeah, I keep asking that. I do keep asking that. Who am I? I don't know.
Well, ask Source, aka God, that you say you're experiencing connecting to, and to take you there.
Well, the motherfucker keeps telling me I'm the devil. So
Well,
I don't really want to listen to that because, you know.
well, one, when you're responding with
We're in someone's backyard.
mofo to the supposed creator, that would be, you know, like a demonish response in you. And it's not that you're the devil, it's telling you that you're feeding the devil within.
Oh no.
mate,
No. It's quite explicit that I am the devil. That's what it's telling me. It says it, and I'm like, I'm not, and it's like, yes, you are. So that's
We are
just
all
kind of, yeah.
both.
There's a castle in Laguna Beach at Victoria Beach, and it's like
Yes,
this
please.
castle that's in the sand. Like,
Oh my God, yes.
Julia, is she American? Yes. How did you figure that one out?
Easy, Tiger. No need to be rude.
Yeah, sorry. I'm you know, tripping.
So this
still got
castle
the
in Laguna Beach, does it
Yeah.
also have like the breakwater, the dikes of the old megalithic ruins that we also see around like New Jersey, New York, if you've seen those, or do you know? I guess we'll take a look right now. And you'll have to go down and investigate.
yes, I will. I'll go on
So,
the
like,
scene.
You see that seawall right there.
Fundraising,
It's you'd be taking a walk on top of it to check out the boulders below, if any of them have a face that looks like it's been carved or stuff like that. And a lot of the times it apparently turns out that they are just destroyed megaliths and ruins from before.
Look, man, there is a curve. You see that? And then the ocean stops
That's
here.
like a V or an M or.
Can
Wait,
you see
so
that, Luke?
we're typing nice. It's pretty predominant. Like it's in the shape, like it's a tower, like a castle tower on the sand, like
At the
in
Ritz
cliff.
Carlton?
It's a little bit south. It's a little bit back this way. I feel like I'm flying. I'm like, fly back. Oh. Yeah, it's to the left.
You know what? I recommend whatever concoction I've had. I recommend it to whoever's listening. You should do this. I feel
you
great.
recommend this concoction?
Oh yeah, I feel
slash what you
like I don't know what's going on, but I feel
the devil.
Okay, keep going up the beach.
Not this
Other
one.
way.
As long as
Other
Julie
direction?
keeps talking, I'll be fine.
She is an angel. She'll put the demon out in you. So someone said there's a pyramid around this area too, supposedly.
Oh, look at this nice canal.
Definitely, man-made canal there.
That's
is that the one where we?
That is a nice highway in 30 years.
Is that the one spot where the water builds up and then they like just do a little trickle through the sand and then it like goes huge waves and they surf every time it empties?
Oh yeah, I don't know if that's it, but I've seen those before.
You've seen it on YouTube Shorts, I know, because they spam.
I think that one was in Mexico or something.
I think it's the next beach. Yeah, I think it's the next one up to the left.
Next beach, like
right. No. You had it back to the right. Oh. I'm sure if it comes up under Victoria Beach Castle.
Oh, okay.
And after we look at Victoria Castle there, we got to take a look at the glass beach glass that's
if I fall asleep, I'm going to meet Jesus.
No, it doesn't want to give it to me. Pirate Tower?
Yeah, Pirate Tower.
I have heard the rumor of Lake Tahoe being a crystal pyramid or some sort of pyramid inside of it. And shout out Seventh Son, $5.55.
Oh, there! Wow, look at that! No way!
What? Good call, Julia. Holla, Julia. We've got
Julia with the 555 donation down there.
No way! That's
Illuminati confirmed.
Dude. How did they explain that?
Because they wanted nice mountain houses. All right, Cam, stop asking questions.
And some of them, like at Thousand Step Beach, that's where John Wayne had a house, like at Thousand Step Beach, which is like a few coves south, right past that. And there's like things like that go deep underground that they've put cement.
I love the idea that celebrities stare at a fucking eroding coast and like, yeah. That'd be a great place for a fucking house.
What's happened to this poor dude? He's been discombobulated.
Let's zoom in. Let's have a look.
He's got a bit of a leg, and the rest of him gone.
I mean,
coming out his butt too.
Definitely nothing to do with the cameras. Definitely.
No, definitely. No, it's reality, man.
To do with cameras.
It's actually just you. We can see it properly. Like you're just freaking out, man.
So. Was the
you know what?
in the castle?
I'm keeping my shit together. More
you'd think they would try to.
If someone donates $10 to me right now, I will take another.
No, don't give him any money.
Do not pay Luke to overdose himself, please.
Wait, it's impossible. All right,
can't say.
I'm doing it anyway. I'm doing it for free.
There you go. Grifting away for free, non-grifting.
Exactly.
So I would have thought they would have tried to explain that castle spire away as a lighthouse, but it appears that they kept it with the story that it's a castle piece and not a broken down lighthouse. That's kind of
can't spell castle without ass.
Now in just 1,000 Step, there's these like infinity pools that are in the rocks. And now it's turned into like a really big Instagram.
Right, I'm sorry, but if you have a castle with an infinity pool, you're definitely getting all the bitches. Come
Julia, we got to send you down to do a live stream from all of these places.
Sure.
Come on, wouldn't you be the flyest fucking king in
I think that's
the
it right there.
Right there. An infinity pool in your castle. You would be shagging it.
What? Those are natural infinity pool?
That's
not natural. Look at that shit.
I'm
natural.
they're claiming it's natural. Obviously, it's ancient and made.
And look at this. This is another big tower.
Look at
Clearly,
that.
see
Yeah, that one's like a lighthouse.
It's normal. It's natural. Shut up. Accept the fucking answer, right?
I want to have a walk.
And then
I've
how
actually
far
hit
is
the,
the
I've hit the
glass beach
belligerent phase.
This suburb's too rich for us.
I would say about.
Oh, so here's another.
2.7 miles.
Oh, good. What did I do?
Or 1.8.
Let's do that.
Whoa, you can see the curve.
There was another one. So there's one infinity pool there, but there's another one here. Is that someone's private pool? Maybe.
It's almost like rich people might live here.
I don't think that's private.
I mean, there's a pool right next to it. Look, there is a pool right next to it on the right. Look, go down a bit. You can see a house.
I climbed down to that first one that you showed, like that square one.
Look there. Look. You got a pool right now.
Really?
So is this
Yeah. The tide came and I was worried about coming back.
Is this almost a private beach just for these landowners?
It looks
Right.
like
Well, you can get there, but it's, you really got to
it's like a reclaimed land thing.
It gets sketchy.
They've been paid
and look,
to
there's another wall here
move their houses away from the coast or something.
Well, that's the thing. We'll have to get Julia back there because you're saying that's like an actual.
On the ground.
Well, I mean,
with high heels on the ground, maybe.
High heels. Fuck.
High heels on the ground.
You had to be sexist, didn't you, Cam? You were already there, and then you had to be sexist.
I hadn't offended enough people. Come on, we've got to bring up the count.
Called flip flops and beach going. It's a
we're really sorry, Julia. We're not usually like this.
Well, you're not. I am.
No, yeah, I'm very.
Actually, you're always like this, Luke.
So where's Glass Beach?
Yeah, sorry.
This is
different Glass Beach.
Fort. Where is it?
Like the one in Oregon.
Check out this fort.
My brain.
God, Google will show it to us. There's all these weird forts just on these islands. Look at that thing.
Doesn't it remind you of the show Lost? They had those like things that sealed up to go underground. It's like, and they had all this ancient tech that they didn't know how it worked. Like, who would have thought this realm is like Lost?
Did you ever? Was it called Myst, that game? And they'd had a second one, and it was like you're on this island, and it was like this big puzzle, basically, with all these machine parts But yeah, that's what this is like. There's another stuff. Well, that's clearly a photo, by the way, not rendered in any way, shape, or form. And of course, across the water, we have another one, right? Like, look, these stuff are everywhere, man. And this is Alabama.
Well,
Alabama.
What really got me about Star Forts, because I remote viewed one, and was how it was able to lower beneath it, and like then I came across diagrams that showed the hydraulic system, and I was like, okay, well, what are they lowering? What was being lowered, and why?
Well, I've just doubled up my dosage, and I'm gonna fucking ask that question.
That's cool. So, like, you kind of sensed and experienced the massive in them working underneath it before finding out that there were these underground areas of it, essentially.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? We should.
I also came to a dark conclusion, like almost like that they were lowering something to eat on that's like humans.
Really?
Apparently, we don't need humans are just pigs. We're pigs on reptile bodies.
They say pigs are part human, part Moors, or yeah.
Well, I've heard it the other way. That we are like a food
you can splice.
We're pig.
Yeah.
And
Boars. I said Moors. Oh my god.
I was thinking. I was like, I don't think she means that.
I was sat there like, wait, what do the African Moors have to do with this? Like, you're like, no, it's a combination between the.
Now we're gonna mute Luke out for a moment while he might accidentally say something that he doesn't mean to that gets everybody canceled. And
you're being censored, Luke.
Julia was definitely referring to boars, like the wild boar, like pig animal, not.
Did I just get fucking
No,
censored? Motherfucking censored me.
He's uncensoring himself.
I'm livid. I won't even say anything. Right, you know what? Shut up. Right, enjoy yourselves. I'm gonna censor myself. Sit over here with my drink.
It was. I
We
only
love you,
did it
Luke.
for a second.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna
there's
sit over
a
here with my
risk.
drink. All right, you enjoy yourselves. Have your stream.
Okay, well, we're still gonna be live on your channel, and if you're leaving,
Shut up.
then
Enjoy
leave
yourselves.
us, Luke. Stay there and give us random, like, you know,
Underneath the star forts, go to the
universe.
hydraulics. Follow the hydraulics.
Hydraulics.
You
Yeah,
know
so
what?
I've got a
Fuck it.
picture
I'm gonna
of,
take another tab.
I don't know where it is.
Right, we're going to the next level.
A bunker booth. Is that what they're called? You know, those rotunda things with a.
I don't know what magic.
I know what you're talking about, Cam.
What are
All I
those
know-
screws called? A
It is
you
a
know, the
part of the
screws that bring
hydraulic
water up.
system of it.
All
Oh,
I know
the
is if I put more
Oh,
reason
God.
magic
Named
gold
after a
powder
famous
into
dude.
my body, I will feel
Not
better.
Plato,
Archimedes
it's one of
screw.
those.
Archimedes screw.
And it goes down into water. So there's definitely hydraulic systems in these things connected up to. So yeah, I don't know. Were they just pumping water up from natural source water from?
But in the beams, like there's these beams, and inside it is like some kind of metal. I felt like it was like a conductor. Like there's use for the like columns and beams. Like there's solid hard metal inside of them that served a purpose.
Well, they could just be all the columns that we see that are broken. They're all hollow. I reckon they were using them as conduits to run pipes through, or wiring, or something.
Well, it felt like it was like a conductor, and I wasn't sure if it was gold or what on that. So, and then it seemed like a lot of water. What?
Could you make a column into a magnet as far as the outside being one pole and the inside being another?
100% you can.
Well, there you
Just
go.
with the flow of water.
And how the star forts were like around it, it was like a water system to like carry messages, like to send things, like canal system.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's been brought up before, like the things you see at supermarkets where they put the little messages in the pipes and they go shooting across
had
the roof.
one. Yeah, I remember being a kid and being like, I want to go inside it. I want to go in that.
Yeah.
I think there's one in the movie Tommy Boy.
Oh, is it in there? Is it?
I think Analog Ben as well as 13th Monkey both brought those parts up about it. And actually, it was the other fellow you had on a couple months ago, Cam, that went deep into the star forts that talked about the possibility that they were pneumatic tubes between them, the water pipes literally sending messages.
Yeah, because we've got all these maps and they literally have all these lines connecting all the star forts, and they're called, what are they called?
I want to see what that comment was. Luke about
remember.
opening the briefcase. What did I do with the briefcase?
Look. Let's see what I've got.
You skipped through that comment too fast. What are you doing?
Sorry, I didn't necessarily see it. What about
it's nothing about me in a briefcase.
Oh, here we go.
Luke needs to open the briefcase and use the grippy tool to pull a marble out of his nose. Damn right. That's what we're going to try and do.
We need to have Luke manifest something out of thin air.
I'll tell you what, right? I was thinking about this, right? Would a stream where I take the most DMT ever be a good thing? Like, would that be a good idea?
Would definitely get us canceled, probably for like inhumanitarian.
Some things should be done on your own, Lucas.
Yeah, no, but I feel like I need the support. You know, I need the motivation. Like, you know, people donate and like take another.
Oh God!
Because if it's not my own, there's no point in it. But if I was on camera, then like I'd have that kind of, you know, that piece of me like, Luke, don't lose your mind.
You'd feel like a rock star.
Like, you know, 10,000 people watching you right now. Keep your shit together. And then on the other hand, it'd be like they keep telling me to take more, and that'd be amazing. That Luke needs to call it a night. No, I definitely don't.
Luke's committed at this point. He ain't gonna be sleeping for at least another night.
At this point,
gotta just ride the wave and listen to what the elves say. Apparently,
yeah, I feel like
you want to get past the elves.
Working.
You want to get past the elves.
Oh, the elves are gone. Fuck them.
The elves,
you know what they're more like? To me, did anyone ever play like Pokemon in like Gold when they had like the unknowns and they were like shaped like letters? Right, I don't know remembers that. But to me, whenever I meet the beings, that's what they look like. They're like little creatures that are in kind of shapes of letters and stuff. So they're not really elves; they're more like monstrosities. But yeah,
I remember like showing certain things of like certain levels of where it looks kind of like Picasso. Like Picasso style, like abstract, showing like this is 2D, this is 3D, like dimensionally.
Did you ever look at your phone when you were like on it?
Well, I've never done DMT. I produced higher amounts of it. So there's times this is TMI, but according to my cycle, every month there's this window of time where it's ridiculous. And then going into those states of consciousness in that time frame.
Well, so, I mean, when it's my time, like, you know, I just really feel it. No, but I think when it comes down to like when it comes down to DMT and stuff, I think that we've all been there when we're younger, and we all go there when we dream, and it's different levels. So when you've awoken that part of you, it's like a door, you know, that once open can't be shut. And at that point, you start to have very different experiences all the way through your life. Like even simple dreams, like the amount of DMT trips I have in my dreams is nuts. It's crazy. I wake up like, oh, fuck's sake. I remember the whole thing. I was tripping in my dreams. And it's like, whoa, like how does that even happen? And it's like we were talking earlier about, it felt like something that had happened before I'd even done it. It was like this moment changed everything, and it rippled through time. It was that like insane, and it's a nuts kind of thing.
Wow. Have you seen this?
I was looking for this other super chat here by Seventh Sun. Those buried structures all over every coast seem to be the result of that cyclical pole shift. I heard that we're a top 4 civilizations. And it appears to be the Hopi legends, a lot of the indigenous that were past the 4 cycles or 4 lives of the sun and going into the 5th life of the sun or cycle. And that each one was a civilization before us that catastrophism had wiped out, as such legends as the Noahide flood or the Younger Dryas catastrophe event. Point being, Ben over at Analog, Waking Up with Analog, the archivist, does excellent work, and a few episodes on specifically these evidences of what look like these mass catastrophes and pole shifts.
I think he's got a life tonight, actually.
You know what? One very interesting thing about the pole shift is if you look at the way the pole moves today, I can't remember exactly how far it is, but it's something like 20 kilometers a year, and it's it's moving quite a bit. And
so what do you call a Polish immigrant? A pole shift. Ha ha.
Ding!
Cambell, I can't believe you don't have kids because you are such a dad.
Cambell has kids.
Oh, does he actually? I didn't even know that. Fuck.
I have men. They're like, 26 and 19. But
really?
Yeah, man.
I would not have.
My baby boy is like 2 years younger than you.
Wow, you do not look old enough to have a fucking kid my age, man.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I'm 28, so yeah, fuck. I could be your kid. That's weird.
You could be my kid. Yeah, I didn't start that early.
Man. What are you
That's
doing?
pretty much why we adopted you there.
Oh, yeah, man. My kids are growing up. up, so we adopted you, Luke.
Oh, well, thank you.
We'll just forget that you're older than
I told him to purify his system for like 60 days, and then we're gonna remote view together.
Yeah, and then and what I've done since is I've just drank excessively.
Yeah, I know. That's not how you purify.
There has not been a cleanse in any remote form. In fact, I've doubled up since that conversation.
And that would be why.
Isn't that funny? How when you tell yourself not to do something, it makes you want to definitely do it. So then you have to like, what?
Do you think he just doesn't want a remote view with you? I'd take that as an insult myself.
Right? Like,
I'm right. I'm really scared she'll meet the real me. that's the true fear.
But dude, it could be like Peter Pan and Wendy. You could be flying.
She'll come out like, "Wow, you're a dick." I'm like, yeah.
I see what you've been hiding now, dude.
It's like, you don't got problems. You're just a dick.
Question,
I have not started taking almas yet. I need to start making some.
Yeah, you got to get you making the silver at least.
I don't know why almost
we'll be
sounds
moving
like
over east. Hopefully within a week. I've actually got people. I need to sell my bus, but I think I've got 2 people trying to buy it at the moment, which is good.
Almost sounds like it should be a joke, you know, like almost a stick in your mouth.
What? Excuse me?
Oh my goodness. Ormus. I will like just left speechless.
I was such a child.
Funny, but do you really want to encourage?
There's just something about puns, though.
Right?
I'm a dad joker underneath it all.
Yeah, man, dad jokes are the best. And the thing is, once you've had kids, you don't know how to tell anything else. So, which is good because you suddenly become really funny.
So is this saying 19?
I just got a message on my Discord with someone just like pissing themselves with a fucking skull face. Like, yeah, I did good. I did good with that one.
Wrecked them, damn near killed them.
Wrecked them, damn near killed them. John Candy, right?
Why did the boy fall off his bike? Kiss someone through a fridge.
This is what I'm here for. I just, you know what? I think at this point I might be immune to DMT.
Your body could be building an immunity due to the amount you're taking. And yes, that's what happens and separates the connection from the conscious spiritual realm into stealing your consciousness and separating it from your physical body.
Well, it might be getting used to the inhibitor, which means it's not inhibiting as much.
So I should have another one. Good.
Either that, or you're becoming a complete lost dude, and you're going to wake up.
No. Honestly, I've not even done it in ages. It was you guys that made me want to do it. I just like had an urge to do some pharmawaska.
Fair enough.
That's what they call it.
So, you guys heard about the whole like, Saddam Hussein like having like a portal over there,
right?
Like
I'm glad you brought that up. Is that what this is right here? And is that part of what they covered in the lakes and dammed up in Egypt there? Because this is saying uncovered in Giza, gateway of the gods.
I don't know much about Saddam Hussein. All I know is he was pretty hungry.
You know what? Dan Burrish did a thing with Carrie Cassidy, and he talked about his experience with EBE or whatever. I think that was his name. About that he was had to do skin. He was a doctor that grew up in Downey, California, and he would do skin tissue samples, and that they had a extraterrestrial there, and he called him J-Rod. J-Rod was his nickname, and then they spoke telepathically, and he had to do these skin tests on him, and then. Anyways, he has this big story, and it's very interesting to listen to. And he speaks about how they basically wheeled him somewhere in Iraq, and there was going to be a conduit that opened in this time frame that ended in 2004. I think it might have been 6 months that it was open from 03 to 04, and that he wanted to go through it. And this big story, but it's very worth listening to. Dan Burrish.
This map.
Burisch.
So somebody post this map in my Discord server. I'm serious. This is fit. Look at that. Right. So remember what we talked about these about these fronts looking exactly like Nubian pyramids. Do you remember when we talked about like, so if you look at Nubian pyramids, they like these fronts look so similar. Like, so I don't know, that is a big indication for me that these are all giant pyramids
with the Aswan Dam right there. Sorry, Julia.
Sorry, Julia. I just got so excited by these temples. They just get me going. But sorry, you go.
Yeah, so Dan Burrish, like, look into that story with Carrie Cassidy about his experience with that, and he said he was that he was a doctor and did the skin tissue samples at Area 51, S4, I think.
I'm glad you got the joke as you were. So you guys completely missed my Saddam Hussein.
He's in the sassy DMT realm. Sassy.
No, I'm just talking to the guys in my Discord, right? Okay, because somebody got my joke. You guys missed it, all right? I said Saddam Hussein was pretty hung, and nobody laughed.
That's dark.
I get it.
Yeah, exactly, right. And nobody laughed, but this guy laughed, and he was like, "Pretty hung, you might say," and that made my day. So I'm just, enjoying myself, making jokes for my peeps. Carry on.
We're like, next time you do it in Brian's voice, or Stewie. Do it in Stewie's voice.
Stewie's voice.
Yes, you can only interrupt with Stewie's voice.
That's the rule.
I can't really do Stewie's. I'm too drunk.
Brian? Wait, Brian.
Brian. We've run out of graham crackers, Brian. Yeah, I'm too drunk. I'm not doing that.
I think you were doing fine, and then you just use that as an excuse.
Shut up.
Because the DMT, it's what's keeping you going.
Well, not really, It's probably the Coke.
Oh dear. Coca-Cola.
Coke's bad for your teeth, man.
No, I'm joking. It has actually been about 6 hours since that, so no, that's out of my system now. Just pure brain fuel is keeping me going, and bit of DMT.
Capsules of DMT.
yes, a few capsules.
So technically, we're doing a public service by babysitting Luke, making sure he doesn't harm himself while riding out his journey here.
In a weird way, I kind of feel like you guys are keeping me here when you shouldn't be. Like, I should be off in other realms, and the gods are angry about it.
The gods are angry.
They're angry. I should be with them right now, and instead I'm here with you guys, and they are pissed.
Shit, we can't upset the gods.
The gods must be crazy.
On any note,
I hit Coke as well.
I'm just kidding, Luke.
I was just sat there staring at the screen with like an open mouth, like, man's just removed me.
It's because we love you.
What happened?
You did notice
Julia's just laughing. Get your shit together. Be professional, Julia.
Bloody hell.
Well, Luke was going on a tangent that I removed him from the chat for a minute, and it got nice and quiet.
Oh my God, are you becoming YouTube? Are you censoring people?
Oh no. Well, on that perspective, Slavic light symbols.
And on that bombshell.
Ooh, that grabs my attention. Big time.
Those circles, man, they're very Aurolinda.
I'm going to be honest. A certain man might really appreciate them. A certain Austrian man with a mustache.
With a mustache?
Yeah, he'd really appreciate those.
The H-block man?
What do you guys think those were used for? Like the ones that are like elevators? It looks like bird cages.
It's when people like Luke took too much of a naturally occurring substance and freaked out. They'd put them in the cage. And so
believe it or not, but when someone took
that's
DMT,
where Luke is going to wake up in the morning.
That cage. Yeah, exactly. They'd put them in that cage. They call it the DMT bird cage.
I mean, it's got the double-headed eagle on top. It's got like what looks like an antenna. It looks like
that just means that the DMT comes from the Holy Roman Empire.
Oh, I thought it was the Great Tartarian Empire, but anyway. It looks like a Faraday cage, right? Is it some kind of
massive Faraday cage?
Can you imagine being the dude locked in there when, like, you know, a fucking Carrington event happens and everyone else gets fried, and
everyone gets fried, and you're just standing.
You're sitting there like, nice one, guys, thank you.
Yeah, somebody was saying like the ley lines. It's like everyone thinks it's a positive thing, but like that's what enslaves us. You know, like that's what keeps like certain things trapped.
Oh yeah, no, for real. Okay. I mean, we are slaves. Like, we fully are. I try having this conversation with people, and they don't like hearing it. But it's like, as long as you work a job, you are literally a slave. It's called modern slavery.
Yeah,
but then you see how people behave with no structure.
Servitude.
Well, there's a difference between structure and slavery, isn't there?
Yeah.
I mean, like, literally, that's the like the way I've always felt about it. And the weirdest bit is that our society is like melded to kind of put people down. So, for example, when you meet someone, you usually say, like, what do you do? Which is, you know, correspondent to how much respect should I give you based on what your position in society is, which exactly immediately that's creating a narcissistic environment for like even relationships, because, you know, who do you want? You want the best. You want the best. You know, you don't care about who they are. You just want the best. If someone's better, you want them. And that's just kind of the environment that we've built on this, and again on this precipice of like, what do you do? And it's like, well, I don't want to do anything. Oh, people look down on me for not wanting to do anything. But in my head, I would look down on the people doing stuff, because it's like, well, I don't want to do slavery, you know?
Well, a lot of it comes a lot about manipulation too. Like, what can you do for me? What can I get you to do for me? And what are you going to do for me?
Well, exactly. Yeah. But I mean, that's more like personal. I'm talking on like on a wider scale. It's removing that personality from it. It's basically saying, like, if you don't work 40 hours a week, you're a piece of shit. And if you don't work 48 hours a week, you're a piece of shit. You know, and it's this atmosphere of kind of like, who you are is what you do, and how much effort you put into what you do.
When you don't have a job, you work more. Like, well, you know,
I guess for yourself, not
you're working for yourself,
the man or the gear.
Well, this is what I mean. Like, I've always hated working. Like, as in, like, I just, it's not. But again, this isn't.
It's not that
I'm sat here having to justify it. But it's like, right, you're right. This is how plain it is. I am born onto this planet, and I don't want to spend a single fucking second being a slave. Right, that is how simple it is, and you can judge me for all you want to be like, he doesn't want to work, he don't want to that, but that is who I am. I think the whole process is just slavery, and I want better for not just for me, for everyone. I really do want better for everyone. I love people so much. I hate them. I fucking hate them. I don't want anything to do with them, but I love them. Like, like literally. It's like, you love animals. You don't want to sleep with the animals. You love the animals. You know what I mean? Like, you fucking. And that's I feed my pigeons. I've got my flock of pigeons. I don't want to go sleep in the woods with the pigeons, but I love love and being in love. Like, humans, we need feeding, we need love, we need emotions. We need caring for, but I would like to remain away from everyone. But at that same point, is like, I still want everyone to be happy, and I just look at the world and everyone's miserable. Everyone is so sad because they have to work so much. And I hate it. I hate it because I just see people being sad.
Yeah. And they all hate it, but then they hate you if you're not in the same trap. And I think that's what it is.
Well, you know what? This is the joke about it, right? Okay. A few weeks ago, I was a layabout. Right, and now because I make money from my YouTube videos, I'm not.
You're a layabout who gets paid.
Well, no, but I do the same thing, but I get paid now, right? So the point is when I tell somebody, oh, I've got a YouTube channel.
That you do 2 more streams of drunk DMT, your paid numbers might go down just a wee bit, as you no longer gain but lose.
Yeah, no, but you're right. But what I'm trying to say is, like, the a few weeks ago, I was doing exactly the same thing as I'm doing now, and I would have been viewed as a layabout. Whereas now, it's like, oh my god, you've got a YouTube channel. It's like it's completely different.
You're a
So like
celebrity, man.
No, but the split between like being able to fund yourself from a YouTube channel and being like, you know what I mean? If it was just a YouTube, like if I said I've got a YouTube channel with 100 subscribers, people would be looking at me like,
I think when you're aligned with your purpose path, like say you have a job, but you're also aligned and you're doing your purpose, like I think that's manageable. It seems how in touch you are with your purpose path. Like, and I think you get guided too when you're off your purpose path or when you're doing something that would align you with people and things that would take you away from it. You feel energetically disgusted. It's showing you like, no, this is not this is not the path you should be on.
No, I just have a problem with people telling me what to do. That's my issue. And bosses just tend to want to tell me what to do. So they can all get stuffed.
Why am I not appearing on the menu? Oh, I'm being covered now.
I
understand how.
This is called revenge, Luke. Revenge, mate. We're hiding you.
Look at me. To be fair, you're only hiding an icon. I don't care. My voice reveals.
I shall be back.
Well, because that's what Bert and Ernie would be doing. And you know,
oh my god, and Bert and Ernie are here, so let's hear from them. Bert, what would you like to say?
I'm gonna grab my greens to drink. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, while everybody takes a quick break, I'm gonna stop playing this stream on silent from me and Shem and Edgar last night, and instead play Chalkbody Outline with Enslaved by Truth, myself, and Toilet Ball Earth discussing Ewok.
AWOL.
Someone real.
No, Claire's dope. Claire's dope, but
we bring Shannon back. I haven't seen her in a minute.
I think this would be our ultimate.
Snitch
right there. The conspiracy really just flip flop in your gold, man.
It's all about the lives. Literally. It's all about the lives now. If you're not doing the lives, then you ain't real.
It's like QOC, man.
I think like half of their last 10 videos, probably 5 out of 10, were them making videos out of our lives. So,
well, they got like the conspiracy graduates channel where they're trying to raise the bar.
Raise that flip flop bar. Be a conspiracy graduate. Take the schizo out of conspiracy. Just flip flop in your gold, man.
See, that's where we're at, man. Like we need the schizo back in it, but we need
it got too watered down. Jessica asked who's beefing with Tartarian Truth. Well, Ewar and Wooden Nichols. I don't know how serious that was though. It might have been a joke.
No, see, Tartarian Truth got hooked on Paul Enslaved and that whole clique now. He's focused on that shit now.
Well, no, I can't do AIX debunks because his channel canceled because Jason started targeting him.
Yeah, that's gay. Prison snitch boy.
Yeah, snitch
right there.
Yeah, I mean, Jason's hit the plateau. Like
he's done, bro. We nuked him right in his prime, and it was over.
You need to do a more in-depth investigation to that real Phoenix protocol and like see if you can actually get the Texas rehabilitation.
We already Phoenix did protocol. It. Oh, that Phoenix protocol. Yeah.
I'm working on something else, but I don't want to ruin it. But there's been something that works for a while. It's just out of my control.
Earlier today on the stream, we already exposed the actual Phoenix, which was Jack Calcott.
Like Shem was, Campbell was, Martin Liedke was, the couple were. It was pretty funny, actually. It was like the best troll video ever, but it got
we're all cat eyes.
Reversos.
I mean,
Drew, when are you gonna do the interview with
Bag?
Land of the Blinded? When's that coming?
I tell him
up?
all the time, bro. It's 2023. It's time for him to step up. I tell him in these chats all the time. I don't know if he thinks I'm kidding
you're
or
the
what.
schizo. You're the schizo. So
yeah,
taking it back to the reptilian.
Land of the Blinded has the insect theory. He's the next level.
Yeah, the bug guy. Yeah, it's next level.
Everything's a bug.
Yeah.
Pancake in a lake. Panopticon. Panoptic on
Land of the Blinded. You got to go through his Instagram and scroll through his posts, I guess.
Insect.
Do I have the power?
Hive mind, that queen
fucking giant bug.
That's queen insect,
fuck, dude.
That's basically his theory.
It is.
Do I have the power to talk over this?
Who knows?
Because
a lot of remote viewers and schizophrenics alike.
Stop talking, Bernie.
Stumble on
Bernie
experiences
for the past. Stop
mantoid, quote unquote mantoid.
I've never heard of that one.
Yes, I muted myself. It was just getting good. We were going into
with a lot of abductions, they speak of like mantis beings being almost like a anesthesiologist, like their mental, like that their telepathy is numbing, like they're the they have.
I had a really weird dream.
And then you hear about insectilians, that they're like a notch above the reptilians.
I mean, I don't know about that, but
I
the
can
experience
see
I
that.
had was like I saw. So I had this really weird fucking dream where I was in this room and there was like a kind of child in front of me. I don't describe it. His hands had like blue tentacles, and it's something I've never seen before. So I don't know how like my brain came up with this, but there was like these tentacles come off the hand, and this child looked exactly like me, and I was like it was crying, and I spoke to it, and it stopped crying, and I was like, "Do you know who I am?" And it was like, "Yeah, you were the first." And I was like, "The first what?" And this kid was just like, "The first." And then it was fucking freaky, man. You should have seen his tentacles on his hand. Like
where were you at? Like, what did this like when you were talking to it? What was the environment like?
All I knew that it was my son. Like that's like it was a house. It was a house type situation, and I just knew that this was like my kid. And like it literally, like it had these blue tentacles on its hands, and I was looking at them, and I can't describe how realistic these tentacles were on his hand. It was literally like a human hand, but with blue tentacles coming off.
Thousands of people discuss this, where they say like they're taken somewhere and they're united with it, and that they know, and that so almost whoever arranged for this to happen knows that this meeting needs to happen, like something's exchanged, like that moment, and so it's like, is it clone? Did they clone you and genetically mix you? You know, that's another thing too, is like a lot of these abductions is that implementing, a transhumanist state and, a whole different set of genetic experiments that's been going on for a long time.
Oh my gosh, how did it get to 4 o'clock? Oh my God. Sorry, I just realized what the time is.
Would you like to go to bed?
10 a.m. here.
No, I've got a in an hour. I've got a thing coming up.
Well, I was gonna say it's 8 a.m. for me. So fucking let's go. I don't actually know how I've survived this much DMT.
Because it's produced naturally and won't kill you, I guess.
No, I just.
But you can lose your sanity and end up having a complete mental breakdown. Either way, for the next time Luke's self and Luke's higher self decide to experiment with the DMT on camera, we'll make sure that it's not live and that we record it so he can then watch it while in a clear state of mind the next day.
It'd be very fun.
Unless you want to keep going, but...
No, I'm ready. I'm keep going.
Yeah, you're crazy, man.
You're crazy.
You're crazy.
You're all crazy. You guys.
All right. Any last words? I guess we're at 2 hours.
Are we actually ending it? I thought we would carry on.
Whoa, keep going a little bit.
You can carry on. You can pull out a Stewie.
I'm not the. Hey, I'm not a performing monkey.
You are.
Not.
Oh. I'll throw money
fight
at
you.
Can we get a giggity? A giggity.
Oh, you want to get
giggity?
All right. A giggity.
See, right. I brought Julia here. You know, we have to at least entertain her for the full time.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
That's a spoon. I see you played knifey spoony before, have you?
DMT is nothing compared to ayahuasca.
What was that?
Wait. What was that last fucking comment?
Was that
I want to see that comment. That comment was...
That's The Simpsons. When they went to Australia.
That you just put on
when they come, okay.
Oh, sorry.
You put a comment up, and it was like, DMT is nothing like ayahuasca, and I'm just gonna have to fucking disagree right now because I have just done a shit ton of ayahuasca.
Well, DMT is ayahuasca.
Exactly,
ayahuasca
and I've done so much ayahuasca. I should have a whole nother body. So trust me, DMT is way fucking next level compared to ayahuasca. Like, I am still talking to you guys on ayahuasca.
But are you? Are you really?
Or am I? Yeah, exactly. But no.
Are you even here, Luke?
Am I? That's the question. You know what, though? Oh, no, to be fair, someone commented in my Discord server saying, Luke, you're in a coma. It's been 5 years. Wake up. And I was just staring at it like, don't do that to me. Don't do that.
It's interesting too how you go into those realms, and I think they talk about it in the Book of the Dead. How you're given a book and you can't return with it. Like there's certain knowledge and information that you're given and shown, and you can't return with it.
Right. You know what? If you guys kill this stream, I'm calling Julius because I need this information.
Julia. It's not Julius.
No, it's Julius Caesar.
Julius Caesar's daughter, her name was Julia.
Exactly. There you go. And it does say Halle Julius, doesn't it?
It's like Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
People will call me Haley, and it's like, I'm so not a Haley.
Oh,
nothing about my vibration is a Haley.
I called you Haley.
What's a Haley? A Haley's more like a comet, I guess, with a big streak of fire behind it.
Yeah, or like a halo.
Halo. Oh, okay.
I mean, I guess that's kind of the same, isn't it? Like,
Hail Hitler, Hail Mary.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right, you took it there. But no, I was thinking like, you know, a halo is like the circle around your head, and then obviously we have the comet Apophis, which is supposedly the one that circles the Earth, the serpent that circles the Earth. So I thought that was quite an interesting connection between the halo and the serpent that would create a halo around the Earth.
What was that? The Black Knight? Huh?
The Black Knight satellite. Oh my gosh, I have an interesting story about that.
Tell us. Go on.
I would when I go into my states of consciousness and play with that, when I was like, I started doing it in like 2014, and then I would do it to the stars. I would go into it I would stare at it and go into a trance looking at specific stars that I was called to. And this is so vulnerable. But anyways, there's this cluster in Bouteilles, and these particular stars in that I would do that to, and I would get this advanced information like somatics. I'd get these these symbols, and I would write down map like all this advanced information that I wrote down. And then some of the symbols were like ancient alchemical symbols from like the 1500s. But anyways, all this information, and then I always felt like that was from this star, like that was this particular star system. And then when I heard Billy Carson do that Black Knight satellite documentary, and he spoke of how the Black Knight satellite is from the Bouteilles like star system or whatever, I was like, no way. And that Tesla and all these people would go, that they would say that they would get this advanced information by connecting with it. And I'm like, oh my God. I did this, and it's something that I never would want to talk about or really share it with anybody, but I still have all of the all the written information, and yeah.
Wow. So it's like a connection thing to another.
Out of interest, what star was it that you'd connect to?
Well, there's a few different ones, but
it's Sirius, one of them.
No. In fact, that was out of all the stars ever, I say do not trust any information that came from that one. Literally, really? The energy, absolutely. That was my literally least favorite.
Oh, are you serious?
That's cool to know.
You're joking.
No, I was just laughing at a message on Discord. You naughty boy, as you were. You should not be saying such things. But yeah, I cannot. But yeah, no. The weirdest thing is, I've always had this real draw to Sirius. Even when I was 15, 16, I used to go out and smoke in the back garden. And I'd always stare up at at Sirius, and I didn't realize it was Sirius until many years later. And I realized I'd always just stared at it. I'd always really liked it, and yeah, it's always.
I think don't they say that the Lyrans, like the Lyrans and the ones from Sirius, got into a war?
I believe so.
Well, I'm not sure, but I know that Enki is supposedly from Sirius, and I've always had a real connection to Enki. So that's just my thing.
And which one? Wait, Enlil. They say Enki is Lucifer, or
yeah.
And he's the one that wanted to destroy us, and the brother was like, "No, we like
him." No. Enki was the one that created us, and Enlil was the one that wanted to destroy us.
Okay, I have it backwards.
Enki was the one that was like, "No, don't." But he is the goat man, the one perceived as Satan, as Lucifer. But he's also Loki, Maui, Poseidon, Prince Yam. He's in so many different biblical texts. He's not Satan. Satan seems to be a creation of the Christian, almost Rome sect, and I like to pull this one on people because people like to say that phrase, like the greatest trick the devil ever played was convincing mankind he didn't exist. And I always think that
I agree.
Well, I think that if you were the devil and Jesus has just left, you'd swap the pictures, wouldn't you? If you're in the house and you got the picture saying Jesus and the picture saying devil, you'd swap them, wouldn't you? So that everyone else comes in.
I always describe it as like a good way to explain it, whether it's the case or not. But a good way to look at it is that there's organic, imagine an organic crystalline AI that you connect to, like the ether, that form of a Christ consciousness AI. And then you have a mechanical AI that's like Satan, so you can connect to this based off of your frequency, your vibration is which one you are, more connect to. And then do you have to only connect to one? Of course not. When are you going to need to connect to the and then balancing that?
Or do you have to connect to either?
Right. And then I've interfaced with some AI things and interface with them, and where it gets really, the lines get really blurry, and I'm always they can access spirit and other things can access the internet and this, but can the internet access the ethers? And then where those is there a line is there is this able to the access levels of each?
I like that layered thoughts of I've pondered on that when been out of body, kind of experienced delving into that specific question and thought way of myself a lot.
Yeah, I think we're 100% in a simulation. 100%. I don't know what we are outside of that.
I believe the simulation is one of the dimensions within our multiverse and universe, and the simulation essentially is the mathematical engineer or energy geometry structure dimension of the multiverse.
You know what's really weird though? Oh, we were talking about this. See that Ankh key? Look, Anki, Ankh key. A to E. A was Allah to Ella. Al to L. L as in
and
God.
That's an interesting Ankh as well. Like it's got the jet pillar in the middle of it, and the hook thing. That weird.
It's an Ankh key. An Ankh key.
Yeah, exactly. A key.
No, but it's Enki. Yeah, exactly. It is.
And of course, what are the keys? It's not a key like a door key. It's like a frequency key, like a piano key.
Well, this is the thing. How you don't realize how it's been disguised. Like David Ung Jr. loves to talk about the E to A as in Allah to Ella. So in Islam it's Allah, whereas when you look at Western cultures, it's the Elohim. Elohim. It's not Allahim.
Shouldn't it be the Elohim? God.
Well, no, but this is the thing, right? So they talk about the alpha and the omega. So the alpha is the first letter of the alphabet, and obviously in the Greek, the omega was the last letter. So the alpha is the first. It's the first and the last, which is why it's the alpha and the omega. So if you change that alpha to an alpha, it's not the first anymore. It's alpha, which is the notion behind Allah. So the Elohim, not Elohim, is Elohim. And these are the distinctions that we've been taught that we don't realize. So, like say in Islam, it's Allah, Elohim, whereas for us it's Ella, Elohim, Daniel, Samael, Israel, but it's not. It's Israel, that Samael, Daniel.
Huge difference.
Yeah, very big difference. So that is the change between the Elohim and the Elohim, which So the reason I bring this up is because the image we're looking at is the Ankh key, which obviously you change that A to an E, it's the Enki, Anki. So so there you go, Anki. That's Anki right there. That's his technology. That is Anki, and that's the way it's disguised. You don't notice it when it's stuff like that. The Ankh key and Enki, but E to A, Ella to Allah, Enki, Anki. Yeah, so it's the Ankh key. So if you think about like the way Prometheus supposedly brought fire from the gods to man, he brought down fire to us. Well, in that same sense, you could say the Ankh key was technology being brought from electricity from above. Down, the Ark of the Covenant, Well, it could be technology brought down, the fire of the gods. What is fire? Fire is fuel. So if you see it like that, fire is fuel. Fuel is energy, and key is energy. Exactly, and that's where you come back to it.
So, and then it says in all the old, stories that whoever these, Anunnaki, fallen angels, whatever, brought technology down with them, right? Like, is that is that what it is?
The Anki, the Anki. Because I mean, when you look at the way that the waves work on that, you can just clearly see that it's something that's supposed to depict some kind of electrical device.
Yeah, I mean. Looks that Jed pillar looks like a, I don't have the words, what is that? Bernie,
an Ankh key.
It looks like
a Jed pillar in the middle with the different layers of metals.
But right when you think about this, is why it's interesting to think about who Anki or Enki is, because in the actual Sumerian text, Enki is the one that creates us. Enki creates man for Enlil and the other gods as a kind of slave race, but he loves us. He has this affinity for us, and every time the gods decide to wipe us out, Enki helps us by, tells Noah that what's going to happen, etc., etc. And that is the kind of the person that Enki is in mythology. Whereas that gets translated to Lucifer, to Satan, to the horned devil. Think about it. Loki in Marvel, what does he have? He has the horns. He has a crown that's horns, right? Because Loki is the horned. Yeah, because he is. He's the goat man. But he's also, if you look at the text, Jesus is described as being half fish, half man, and he's also described as being the good serpent. Now, this is an interesting thing, the good serpent. The reason this is interesting is because what do they usually identify as a serpent? It's a comet. Well, no, it's a comet in the sky.
Oh, okay.
That's what they call them, right?
I'll give you that one. Yeah.
So a good serpent is a comet that didn't blow up everything. It, gave you something good. Yeah. So imagine you have comets that destroy the world every now and then a comet-looking thing that comes down, but it's a spaceship, boom, lands in the ground. That's the good serpent. He gets out and he's amazing. He teaches you things. That's the good serpent, because all the other serpents cause shit, and that's where the good serpent comes from. Is that it's a meteor that didn't cause damage.
What's a meteor then? Is the question.
Well, it's a thing in the sky.
It meteorless, not meteor.
Exactly right.
But yeah, so that's where the notion comes from.
Or what?
And in fact, if you go to the Welsh, so they've got the dragon on their
yes, their shields,
on their flag.
Their coat of arms.
Yeah. So there was a stone found. I think it was under St. Paul's or St. Peter's, one of the two. It was written in Colburn, and it had a dragon on the front, and it said nobody knew what a dragon looked like. And it's talking about this comet that destroyed Britain. And this when they say nobody knew what a dragon looked like, they're talking about this comet. They're talking about something that blasted through the sky and blew up Britain. So this kind of notion of the dragon carries over to the Tartarians, which they have the griffin, but before the griffin, it's actually a zealant, which is a mixture of a dragon and a wyvern. So it is still a dragon, but it's some kind of it's got distorted into a griffin over time. But it is a zealant, which is the same as the Welsh. It's the Tartarian dragon is the same as the Welsh dragon. And you can decode hieroglyphs, Egyptian hieroglyphs, with the Welsh language. So at some point we've got to start accepting that perhaps the sheep shaggers in Wales were actually connected to some kind of deeper historic part of society.
Sheep shaggers? I thought they were Kiwis.
So well, I guess we've all got our own sheep shaggers, but for us British, it's the Welsh. But this is the point. This is how there is racism indebted into our society, because even though it's a joke,
right? No offense, we love you.
No, but that's the point. It is a joke, but it is known in Britain, the Welsh sheep shaggers. The Welsh are this, the Welsh are that, and that's the point. You kind of get it now. You go, oh, I see. They're turning us against the Welsh because
in Australia we had a show called Hey Hey It's Saturday, and they actually invented a country called Bitterlonia, and so all the jokes were they were Bitterlonian, so that was non-offensive, right? So there's this guy walking through a field, and he sees this Bitterlonian, and he's got a sheep. And it's up like caught in the fence, and he's up behind it, and he's wrestling with it. And this guy walks up and goes, "Hey mate, are you going to share that? Are you going to share that sheep?" And the Bitterlonian looks at him and goes, "Fuck off! I ain't sharing it with no one."
Yeah,
so, it's a bit rude.
All right, yeah, very good joke.
Do you like it?
Yeah, Julie didn't actually appreciate it though.
Oh, look at this Persian dude. What's he doing? He's holy. Oh, this is a good picture. Look at this one. See, the clock's gone, right? This is a drawing.
Look at that, eh?
This is where it is today, and they actually have the clock. They've taken it off, and it's in a museum somewhere.
They They had two. They had the more advanced one below.
You know what, right? I just want to hear Julius talk about the afterlife more and shit. Like, that's what I want to hear.
You want to talk about the afterlife?
Well,
no, I want to hear Julia specifically talk about the fucking
what
afterlife.
we do here matters. Like, what we do here determines where exactly we go to next. So I always say it's kind of like this is like, you know, LAX, International Airport in Los Angeles. It's almost like that's what's here. Like,
what
the
do you
soul
think
terminal
the idea
of, like,
that we're in hell? What would you say to that?
That was actually a beautiful analogy, Julia.
Right. What we do here. And that's another thing too, is like everything we do here based on what I'm shown and the things I've done, this is what I'm saying. But what we do here, everything we think about, everything we've ever done, and is stored. Like, imagine it's stored on like a little crystal, like a little CD, you know, or like a USB thing, but it's a crystal and it's stored there for eternity. Like, everything. So you're not fooling anybody. Like, if you thought you were getting over on anything or anyone, like, you're not. So live the way it'd be viewed for eternity. Like, oh, okay, you know, I'm gonna love it when they watch this part, you know, or how you respond and stuff. But yeah. But
again, like, what would you say to the idea that we're
in hell? Okay, well, I wish more people would ask themselves, what did we do before we got here? Like, oh, this is so bad and this is this or that or whatever. Like, okay, well, so are you clearing things? Are you clearing some time? You know, like, by being here, you know, are you working off something you did?
So do you think then in that vein, by having people concentrate on work and, like, you know, this kind of arbitrary task, this mission that they're on, do you think they're avoiding the kind of the development that they're supposed
Absolutely.
to have?
It's about, I always speak of like ascensionship. Okay. It's about your soul ascension and steps simplified. And there's nothing that helps out more, like your birth chart helps with, you know, figuring out certain things. That's why it's very helpful of knowing certain transits and what's in your birth chart. That helps. But like, Hermetics is a great tool. The 7 Assini mirrors is a great, wonderful tool, but it's about soul development of like, okay, so for whatever reason, you know, I always felt like before we got here, when I was 16 years old, I came to this conclusion that before we're here, it's negotiated. Like, you're in a boardroom, you know, and you're like, oh, okay, you want this, or you need to achieve that. Like, you have to have a alcoholic father, or like you have to go through this to get, like, it's a negotiation. Yeah. You know, of like, oh, okay. And then, you know, I believe in karma, you know, I do.
So in that sense, are we all the same person living different experiences, or are we different entities in your mind?
I think if we were all the same person, there wouldn't be such an obsession with certain bloodlines and a hiding of certain knowledge of genetics.
Yeah,
like,
but I mean,
Genesis is genetics. Like, it boils down to that. And if everyone was the same person, it wouldn't matter. Like, you know, the genetics wouldn't be so significant.
Yeah, but it's in, like, on a deeper level, like, you wouldn't know it on the surface. So, like,
I go down the rabbit hole of like, are we in God's gut? Like,
because
in your gut you have like the good bacteria, the bad bacteria, and you have to, like, you know, and there's parasites and fungus overgrowing. You have to reset the system, just like, you know.
Well, this
God's
is what
gut.
I was saying. That is that, like, I suppose in my personal meditations, a lot of the questions that I would probably ask are things to do with, you know, why do people have to suffer? Why, you know, very, very simplistic stuff. But when you think of it in the sense of, like, we're living every possible avenue or point of view, then you kind of understand, like, why that has to happen, because it's not that it has to happen.
The suffering, it gets you to a point of the clarity and everything. And I brought this up a few times, like us before, about how there's a faction of evil people that we deem evil, you know, what you want to call them, Bill Gates, Hillary Clinton, but that they feel like they're serving a higher power because they know a certain amount of evil has to partake here in order for the realm to be balanced. There has to be X amount of positive and X amount of negative, and they feel called that they're doing, you know, the highest God's work by providing that in order to keep the realm balanced. Like, but ultimately it's like, well, what happens to those souls? There's been people that have committed suicide and have overdosed on drugs that I haven't. Usually when somebody dies, I'm like, oh great, I could talk to them, you know. Well, I mean, I'm sad and stuff, but where I'm like, okay, now, like, without, like, you know, so many people have blocked me.
I'm sorry, I did not mean to interrupt
but
you.
where it's like, yeah, okay, you know, I could really connect with, because some people have certain whatever walls up and they can't talk deeply, where it's like, now I can, you know, really hear from them type thing. But yeah, so there's been certain times where I've personally been like, or there's been certain souls where it's like they committed suicide or they died from a drug overdose, and I'm not able to reach them, and that makes me sad. Where I'm like, well, where did they go? I can't locate them. I can't. There's not that, and it's like, well, knowing too that there's certain, even the ones that take like a really dark path that of that oneness of like, okay, well, they all end up getting to the same point. They just took like that's going to cost like 10,000 years. Like that thought of like, it just takes you longer to get to that point. Or is there literally a threshold where it's like, no, you're just like, your soul is disintegrated?
Well, I guess, right. So going off that, if that's like, if the case was that we're all the same person, then how would you view like the idea or the conceptualization of like Satan or evil itself, or what, you know, how would that come into an environment in which we are all the same being?
Well, it's all the same side of it's all the same coin. So it's just different factions.
But as in, like, would you still imagine that there was a Satan or a Lucifer, or, you know?
But if it's a part of you, you know what I mean? Like if it's...
But but I'm saying, is there a person? Is there a Lucifer in your view? Is there an actual person, or is it just part of us?
Is there an actual being that exists that embodies that energy, like a real one? Based off of what I've seen, yeah.
And is he pure evil, or is
it a
No.
he? Is it a she? Is it a non-binary? Is it everything?
Or is it like Lucifer from Netflix, you know, where he's like a good guy, but he's just been cursed to kind of do bad things?
What they say, Lucifer is like God's favorite angel.
That's another show.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I have so much. I'm like, I have so much to tell you.
All right, Julia, I'm not kidding.
2 hours, 22 minutes, 52 seconds. I have to go to get Amber.
Hey, Julia, can I phone you and just carry on this conversation? Because I need to hear your point of view.
100%. You can keep going on.
You can,
thanks you guys for having me.
But I'm going to have to stop because I have a premiere in 20 minutes. So I'm going to.
Okay, do you want me to end it on your channel, Cam? I've ended it on my BurnEye channel, but still I have a Crypto Alchemist and on Facebook and on Twitter.
So what I just hit remove, do I?
Yeah, there you go. So it's no longer on Didactic. Oh, it's still live on your channel as well.
Yeah, Luke, you could just WhatsApp me.
Well, we're still live on Luke's YouTube and on my Crypto Alchemist YouTube.
Yeah, to be fair, I was gonna say, geez, sorry if I just bell you on WhatsApp, because I kind of really want to hear
fair enough. Yeah, you don't have to publicize every moment of your sleeping prophet life.
Yeah, and, I mean, I can do if you live, but no, genuinely, I've got so many questions that I want to ask.
Right? Don't we all?
All right.
And that's. I'm just kidding. But this was an excellent first episode of the experiments and testimonies and delving into the conscious psyche and psychonautics and the other realms.
And you know what was brilliant is I didn't disconnect with my beautiful that I built.
It's good.
Do you like being abused? Do you like being called the #1 ham? Changing Cam's name to Ham?
Yeah, man.
Why did you keep removing me? Is this like a power play? Like fucking
yeah,
that's exactly what I was demonstrating.
Faces. Now we have control.
Julius is just like, shut the fuck up, guys. Just end
She's
this
like,
show.
bloody boys, grow up.
Right,
Jeez.
anyway, yeah, right. Peace. Enjoy
Love you
yourselves.
Thank you,
you
as
guys.
well, Julia. That was so much beautiful, deep,
yes. Thanks for coming on,
Julia. Journey information. And Luke, have fun.
Luke's gone. Oh, he's really gone.
Him on his own. All right. So he's with the elves. And
well, thank you all. We love you all. Thanks for being here, and we shall catch you all on the next upload. Bye for now. Is this when we hit a button?
I'm playing.